Okay, so you feeling uncomfortable is bringing on your form of rejection, okay? So being uncomfortable is actually a form of rejection. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to break this down for you, and you're never going to have to feel uncomfortable. You're going to know why you're feeling uncomfortable. When you know why you're feeling uncomfortable, you know exactly what's bringing on your form of feeling rejected. Okay, when you're feeling uncomfortable, the process of you feeling uncomfortable, of being of feeling uncomfortable and then feeling rejected, is all down to someone else. You can't just walk into a room and say, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm getting rejected. I'm uncomfortable, yeah, because no one else is there. What's going to happen is that you walk into a room, preferably humans, and naturally you normally interact with humans. And just in this case, you're in a room with other people, other humans who are not interacting with you. So what then happens is that you start to feel uncomfortable. Another situation is that you might be the only race in a room. Okay, so what happens is that those people don't interact with you, and you start to feel like they're not interacting with you because you're of a particular race and they're of another race, and then you start to feel uncomfortable. Another feeling is that maybe you feel like everyone else out there is slim and I'm the only fat one, and for that reason you'll start to feel uncomfortable because you feel like people are not interacting with you. It could be vice versa. It could be like I'm the really slim one, everyone else is fat, and they're not interacting with me, and then you start to feel uncomfortable. Then you feel rejected. You know what's happening? Do you know the one word? What's happening? This is what both parties are doing. Okay. Okay, that's what you're both doing. You're both perceiving, okay? So if you start to feel uncomfortable, and this is through the means of nobody's actually interacting with you, so you're just in a room, and everybody could be interacting with somebody else, but they're not interacting with you. And because you're in a room, and naturally, when you're in a room with amongst other people, they will probably start interacting with you to not make you feel like you're left out or whatever. But in this case, nobody's doing it. So what you're doing is you're perceiving that they don't want to interact with you, and then you're finding something that is like the odd thing that you're finding the odd thing that you believe is about you that no one else is relating to. Then you're fixating that to whatever it is you're perceiving. Okay. So you're doing the thing of feeling, and then you're bringing on your form of rejection. Okay? Now, in the other sense, whereby you're the open person, and maybe you want to interact with a group, and none of the group is wanting to interact with you, you know what's happening then? They're perceiving, okay? So maybe there could be some stereotypical uh, factor about your race or what have you. This is just, look, it's just natural occurrence. Some parents do parenting right, some parents don't do parenting right. Some people are not around mature parents and around what they deem to have been mature adults. And those mature adults might not, for this one, talking about the groups kind of thing, they might not have spoke to them about your race or your how, if you're fat or if you're slim, whatever you're believing is to be about you. And then what's happening is they're perceiving as well. So maybe they're not interacting with you because they're perceiving. Like they might not interact with you because they actually think you're really young. But if you start speaking, you're going to sit them back. Uh, you're going to make them sit back in their seat because they were perceiving. So what's happening is that they're perceiving. Okay. So that's basically what it is. Perceiving is your thing, your rejection. Now, what you need to do is you need to be the one to break out the confidence and stop people from perceiving. You know how you stop people from perceiving? You interact with them. Okay? Now, when you're really talking about your rejection kind of thing and feeling uncomfortable, you know what really counts? Now, if I haven't spelled that wrong, I don't spell too well on the camera. I'm sorry, but okay, what really counts is first impressions. If you feel like the situation is whereby This accounts in any other situation. You could be slim and you feel like everybody else is fat and that's why they're rejecting you. You could be fat and you feel everybody's slim and that's why they're rejecting you because you're fat. You could be really smart and you feel like everybody else feels like you're a nerd or really smart and that's why they don't want to interact with you. You could think you're dumb. You could think you're dumb, okay? And then everybody else thinks they're smart and that's why you feel like they don't want to interact with you. Whatever the contrast is, this works in all situations, okay? So what you have to do is you have to interact. You need to stop people from perceiving and you need to stop perceiving yourself. And you know how you stop people from perceiving or whatever? Because perceiving is basically unfactual thoughts. That's what it is. Okay, so you see a woman walking down the street and she's wearing a really skimpy shirt. Straight away, you might start to think that she is a change the G and work it out. Okay, that's what people might start to think. Okay, you see a guy with a money hungry woman, yeah, or what you would think. You see a contrast in both of them, and straight away you think that this one is a square and she's just what she is there. But for all you know, it could be more than that, the relationship they have. Okay? You see tabloids on the news and so has just got divorced or whatever. What happens is we're just perceiving, we're reading off the tabloids of the newspapers. All they're trying to do is create a big contrast to get more people buying their magazine and get more people interacting with their magazine, not agreeing with it, whatever, just to get more people to buy that magazine. And all we're doing is perceiving because this is not coming from the horse's mouth, what they're telling us. So what you have to do is you need to go to the horse's mouth. So if you're in a situation and you feel like you start interacting with people and you can sort of feel the something in the air where what happens is they've got a perception of maybe who you might be, okay, but really you're not like that. All you have to do, you need to, first impressions count. Now you're not going out of your way to really get the first impression and then feel like, oh, I've done really well then, now they think of me like so and so. You're just being yourself. If you go out of the way and try and take this wrong from what I'm saying, I don't want you to take this wrong, so stay focused with me, okay? Stay focused. If you think, you know what I'm going to do? Robert told me, yeah, what I've got to really do is I need to be the one to go and initiate the first communication, go and touch base with them. So I'm going to think of first impressions. So I'm going to wow them with like some crazy stuff that I know about this, that, and the third that they're really not going to give two F's about, okay? No, you don't do that. What you need to do is you need to, if you see a group of people and you really want to interact with them, you don't want to feel rejected, and remember, you're not going out your way to do this just for them. You're doing it just so you can touch base with them and see whether or not these people are worthy of even you spending your time with them. Okay, so what you do is you listen to what they're conversating about, and if you feel like there's something you could add in that would be really benefit and not too long, you don't want to say something too long, then all it is you come out and you say it, something real light and quick, okay, and then leave it at that. Now you're going to know what you're going to want to say in your different occurrence, because people in your different situation, you're going to feel like some people have this kind of perception about you, and this is what it is. Yeah, nobody is an expert in everything. That's the magic thing I want you to use in your head when you feel like you're having any kind of problem. Nobody is an expert in everything. And why is that magic? Because it's not magic, that is just a fact. Nobody is an expert in every single thing. Okay? So what that means is there's going to be something that you know of, or you know a lot about, or you feel strong about. So if somebody started talking about this or that in that kind of group, you could stand firm and start talking about that thing. Yeah, you understand? What that's going to do is you don't want to overshine on this here, okay? Unless I'll get to that. What it's basically going to do is that's going to allow people to have a different perception of you. because normally when people perceive, they're normally bad stereotypes of people, okay? So it's so quick to easily create such a powerful first impression. Because if somebody's got a perception of you, you can go and check what the stereotypical things are. You could go on Yahoo Answers and mind all the racial things. Because when I'm talking about perceiving, it boils down to humans like different races and what have you. That's all it boils down to when you're perceiving something. That's all it is, okay? So you could go on Yahoo Answers and find out what people perceive. So in your situation, you're going to know what to say. So basically, if somebody's talking in a group about something where you want to interact with them, and not like where they totally block you off. They're not blocking you off. It's just that they've got a perception of you, and you don't want to have that perception of you because you're a different person. You want to interact with them on something that they're talking about that you can shed some light on. Now, what you do is you just lightly talk about that thing, okay? You might just say something really lightly about it, okay? You don't want to try and think, oh, I know so much about this and start talking loads about it. You only want to say something light and then let it be. The best first impressions is when somebody first meets you, the first time you say something. Because remember, when somebody perceives you, the longer you remain quiet and then come out with just one thing that will just shock them and then let it be, the more powerful your first impression will be. The more powerful it will be. Because as people are perceiving something, it's building up this confidence in them that they really know who you are as a person, yeah? It's building up such a high amount of confidence. And that confidence, yeah, can get knocked down so quickly, yeah, just by you coming out and saying something that you know you're passionate about, that you know of, that only somebody that's passionate about that kind of thing would know of, okay? It could be something on TV where you have a perception. Alright, I was going to say it, yeah, but this is a positive perception about something on TV. Like maybe there's a program and you think this is going to happen, or you think that's going to happen. That's something that you can think a lot of people are going to relate with. And what that brings me on to is this. As I was saying, you don't want to first impressions. The most powerful way to get first impression is to talk something about something really lightly, and then be quiet or go away. That is the best first impression. When you leave a first impression, it needs to be to the point and very light, because what happens is that people then, they're just shocked because the whole time they've been perceiving you, you've not said anything. You might have just said one light little thing, and it's going to just be a big shock in their world. A big shock in their world, okay? So that's what you do. And remember, focusing on this, make it very light, because what you're looking for, if you make it too long and you feel like people haven't been interacting with you, you make it long, they think, oh, so as well as me perceiving this person, this person thinks he knows it all, or she knows it all. You don't want that to come from that kind of situation, because then it's going to backfire on you, and then it's really going to increase this form of rejection where you're feeling uncomfortable, and that's not good for you. I don't want that to be happening for you. So what you're going to do is, you're going to say something really light. If you see some response in a group from people, it has to be in the form of something verbal. Yeah? Has to be in the form of something verbal. Because if you feel like somebody's rejecting you in a group, now, subconsciously, everybody in that group, some people might want to interact with you, but they've got a lack of confidence in themselves as well. So they feel like they will be rejected if they go and conversate with you. So they're not going to say anything, yeah? They're not going to say something. But in that one group, there's always like a head person. And it could be a head person you don't like. It could be a nice head person that sometimes speaks out, but the big head person that you don't like tries and overthrows that person. But like I said, you say something like, when there's a verbal response, it has to be a verbal response. Because a verbal response that is forwarded to you initiates you saying, okay, no, now I can say something back to them. Not that now you can speak. Now you can just reply with regards to that light thing that you've just first come up with, and allow people to lightly stop having that perception of you, break down that confidence that they had over you, okay? When you get that verbal response, then you say something again, yeah? But don't be too coy or think you know it all with it. Don't be like that, unless in different situations, you might see everybody's head face you when you say something, and then you know it's most potentially that you know so much about what this thing that that you just lightly talked about. That's how you break out of feeling uncomfortable. okay, in any situation. So whatever you're thinking, you're perceiving on them and they're perceiving on you. So the thing you have to do, because remember, they're comfortable in their group and you're the one feeling rejected from them. You're the one who's got to break the thing. You're the one who's got to interact. That's what you have to do, okay? That's what you have to do. That's how you break out of it. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. This is me I just had to get back and drop a video for you guys because of the response of that last video. And this is what you went into. Remember, there's all those other videos that I talked about. So on the screen now, I will leave links to all the other different forms of rejection that I'm going to be talking about. So click either one of them. And I would love for you to like this video and tell me why you like the video. Leave your comments down below. I would love for you to leave your opinions in the comments, okay? Voice. You've got a voice, use it. You're behind the computer only commenting, do it, okay? I would love for you to, if you feel like you really dislike the video then. That's not going to hurt me one bit. It has to be for a really good reason, though, okay? As well, share the video to your friends. You know what I say about sharing the video to your friend, because this video could break somebody out of a situation that is about to happened, or is happening. And we don't want people feeling not good about themselves. The more people we make feel good in this world, then it's just a great world of love and peace, okay? And this allows people to, be really productive. Look, I'll tell you a quick story. The other day I went to the petrol station, the gas station you might call it in the States, or wherever your country is. So I went to fill up the car. There was a woman in there and she was racist. Point blank period. Okay, now my life is different now, but I can understand if you were working 9 to 5 every day. In some situations, whoever's being racist, it could be a black person being racist to a white person, it could be a white person being racist to a black person, it could be someone of a different nationality being racist, whoever, okay? That's what racism is. It doesn't fall just within one area, it falls in all different areas, okay? All different races. So normally, I know in most situations, some people do go through a lot of racism. Now, normally you might tell your friend, you'll be, oh, forget that person. But I've learned that it's better sometimes to voice through appropriate channels, or if there are appropriate channels there that you know will actually be heard and listened to. So that's exactly what I did. Well, I didn't. Basically, what happened was I went to go and purchase something, and immediately the response I got off this woman was so negative. It was as if I had done something bad to her family, and uh, I'd gotten away with it, but I really honestly did it. There was proof, but for some reason I got away from it. That's the response I got off this woman, which is crazy, isn't it? Now, like I said, my life's good. I'm in control of my life. But for some people who are still in different situations where they're going through 9 to 5 and they don't need that, I had to go and voice my concern. So what I did was I I left the station, and then I waited for there to be a bit more of a queue. Then I came back and I was watching a woman, how she would react with different people. Then I knew it was a thing. So, and the way she dealt with me, it was a case of whereby she was throwing my stuff down, but I didn't say anything because I don't need that energy around me in me doing these videos and whatever. The work I do, I don't need any negative energy around me. If there's negative energy, I will follow appropriate channels or just move away from it. Okay. But if I feel like in this situation, I really felt like, oh my God, if someone else goes to her today and they happen to go through her and she's dealing with them, it could be a really bad situation for them. You never know where they could end up, and this would all be because this person sparked it. That's what I'm saying with regards to sharing a video. If you share the video and this helps somebody, they share the video again, and that helps somebody, they share the video again. Just that week or however long this video is getting rotated, that could be a high benefit to somebody in that person's life, and that's really important. So back to the situation, I voiced my concerns with the place of business I went to, and this was a serious place of business. I mean, they don't need someone like me doing a marketing thing and letting everybody see what exactly happened. You know, that would be crazy. They wouldn't need me doing a marketing thing on that. They really wouldn't, and I would have fun in doing it. But hey, so basically, they got back to me and they relayed back to me if I wanted to escalate, and I just explained to them exactly what I'm telling you. Some people, their situation in life right now is not so good. they're really at their lowest bottom. And we know who comes and tries to get people when at the lowest bottom. I don't need to mention that person's name. We don't need that happening. We need a better world, don't we? We need a world where people are more positive, they've got more confidence, they understand how rejection is just an aspect of life and it's through different means, okay? So it's sometimes great to think about what effect it's going to have on others. Even if that doesn't bother you, it could have a effect on somebody else. So sometimes you have to put your thought process in the mind of someone else's and think how this person's reacting towards you. What happens if someone else comes to react? So that's why sometimes it's not even a situation of not telling somebody. It's better to share. So in you get the analogy I'm trying to get at, guys. I'm sure you do. So as I said, click either one of the videos and go and watch the next video, and I shall see you shortly. And I'm looking forward to your comments. Okay, bye guys.